Sahih al-Bukhari 931. Narrated Jabir. A man entered the mosque while the Prophet was delivering the khutbah. The Prophet said to him, "Have you prayed?" The man replied in the negative. The Prophet said, "Pray 2 rakat." Sahih al-Bukhari 932. Narrated Anas. While the Prophet was delivering the khutbah on a Friday, a man stood up and said, "O Allah's apostle, the livestock and the sheep are dying, so pray to Allah for rain." So he, the Prophet, raised both his hands and invoked Allah for it. Sahih al-Bukhari 933. Narrated Anas bin Malik. Once in the lifetime of the Prophet, p.b.u.h, the people were afflicted with drought, famine. While the Prophet was delivering the khutbah on a Friday, a Bedouin stood up and said, "O Allah's Messenger, our possessions are being destroyed and the children are hungry, please invoke Allah for rain." So the Prophet raised his hands. At that time there was not a trace of cloud in the sky. "By him in whose hands my soul is," as soon as he lowered his hands, clouds gathered like mountains, and before he got down from the pulpit, I saw the rain falling on the beard of the Prophet. It rained that day, the next day, the third day, the fourth day till the next Friday. The same Bedouin or another man stood up and said, "O Allah's Messenger, the houses have collapsed, our possessions and livestock have been drowned, please invoke Allah to protect us." So the Prophet raised both his hands and said, "O Allah, round about us and not on us." So, in whatever direction he pointed with his hands, the clouds dispersed and cleared away, and Medina's sky became clear as a hole in between the clouds. The valley of Kanat remained flooded. For 1 month, none came from outside but talked about the abundant rain. Sahih al-Bukhari 934. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger, p.b.u.h, said, "When the Imam is delivering the khutbah, and you ask your companion to keep quiet and listen, then no doubt you have done an evil act." Sahih al-Bukhari 935. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger, p.b.u.h, talked about Friday and said, "There is an hour, opportune time, on Friday, and if a Muslim gets it while praying and asks something from Allah, then Allah will definitely meet his demand." And he, the Prophet, pointed out the shortness of that time with his hands. Sahih al-Bukhari 936. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullah. While we were praying, Jummah khutbah and prayer, with the Prophet, p.b.u.h, some camels loaded with food arrived from Sham. The people diverted their attention towards the camels and left the mosque, and only 12 persons remained with the Prophet. So this verse was revealed, "But when they see some bargain or some amusement, they disperse headlong to it and leave you standing." 62.11. Sahih al-Bukhari 937. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's Messenger used to pray 2 rakat before the Zuhr prayer and 2 rakat after it. He also used to pray 2 rakat after the Maghrib prayer in his house, and 2 rakat after the Isha prayer. He never prayed after Jummah prayer till he departed from the mosque, and then he would pray 2 rakat at home. Sahih al-Bukhari 938. Narrated Sahl bin Sa'di. There was a woman amongst us who had a farm, and she used to sow silk, a kind of vegetable, on the edges of streams in her farm. On Fridays she used to pull out the silk from its roots and put the roots in a utensil. Then she would put a handful of powdered barley over it and cook it. The roots of the silk were a substitute for meat. After finishing the Jummah prayer we used to greet her, and she would give us that food which we would eat with our hands, and because of that meal, we used to look forward to Friday. Sahih al-Bukhari 939. Narrated Sahl. As above with the addition, we never had an afternoon nap nor meals except after offering the Jummah prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 940. Narrated Anas. We used to offer the Jummah prayer early and then have the afternoon nap.